So I guess you could say it's been a pretty interesting 72 hours on the internet. There's never a dull moment these days. It always seems like every time you go to look, something new is happening. I'm starting to wonder if there'd be some sort of benefit in just quitting the whole thing, just walking away from it. For a while at least, because there's just too much going on. You really... I'm not gonna, I want to talk about this thing, but I'm not going to mention any names because I think that's just tacky, I think anybody using the death of another person for, views and attention on the internet is the lowest form of negative attention that there probably can be. I just realised that what I said was stupid because using the death of someone for attention on social media isn't the lowest form of negative attention. I think that the lowest form of negative attention is probably killing someone and then posting pictures of it to social media. That there probably can be. I don't know. And also, I just don't even really know what to think of that. I mean, I know what to think of the whole thing. It's sickening and disgusting and upsetting. But what is really standing out for me is the amount of people ready to jump in. And it hasn't even been 72 hours, I don't think. Maybe it's been just over, I don't know. It's been around about 72 hours and already everyone has their own story and theory and hypothesis and anthropological take on it, right? So everyone thinks they know why it happened, what's going, and it's just like, shut the fuck up. Maybe this is also sounding kind of hypocritical of me because I can't stop looking into it. It's interesting. As sad and as heartbreaking and as horrible as it is, it's very, very interesting. It's interesting to see the divide of people. The good, the bad, the in-betweeners, some people who make sense while saying truly terrible things, but also, pointing out, but whose truth? At this stage, whose truth? Who knows the truth? No one does. But I suppose the biggest truth is be careful who you meet on the internet. I don't even know where to go with that. I don't even know what to say. Follow your gut instincts. They're there. You just have to listen to them. I think some people have this problem with self-sabotage. I'm doing this to myself right now. I go on the internet and I search for things that are really, really going to upset me. Like with the meditation thing that I was talking about. I don't want to know that meditation might be fucking me up in some way, but I will still go on the internet and search for meditation being bad and articles on the different Hertz music, HZ music, and the frequencies effect on the brain, and alpha states and theta states and shit like that. And how for some people that will mess them up. So, then I also find myself on the internet researching horrific graphic murders that are so new. But, okay. This is where I was going with this. There's a few directions I was going with this, because honestly I don't even know which fucking direction to take. Honestly, it's also none of my business. But I feel like there's still things I want to say. As my husband pointed out, and this is something that's very relevant and very true, is that if you go back a couple of 100 years, people still attended hangings for fun. And they would go and they would cheer And likewise for, you know, the guillotine in France, like people would go and they would cheer when someone got their head fucking chopped off. People haven't changed. And as sick and as messed up as that is, for some people it's a show. It's making my eyes twitch. Alright. For some people it's a show, and as crazy and as messed up and as horrible as it is to say that it's the truth, people are no different from what they were back then. A lot of people. You know, obviously there's the good people who are out there. It's very unclear. It's very unclear the ratio or the divide, you know, how many of this and that. I don't even know if this is making sense. I don't know if anything I ever say is making sense. I just know it's been an interesting 72 hours. And like I said, I'm not going to mention names because I believe that's very tacky. I just have some very basic standard opinions on it. Obviously that the whole thing about incels and this hatred of women and the hysterical ridiculousness of that is something, and maybe it's something that needs to be addressed, because some of these people are clearly dangerous, and I don't know if this person was an incel, but it seems like he may have been. Either way, it comes down to this whole thing of yeah, and that was the other thing as well, was Instagram not taking responsibility for this horrific content being up on its platform. And I was reading that it took them a very long time to actually respond properly and take the shit down, and to eliminate certain hashtags that were generating the images, or people were uploading images to this hashtag of this horrific event. People were flagging accounts and mentioning it to Instagram, and Instagram was responding with their usual, we've looked into your dispute and we find the content that you're talking about to not violate our guidelines, which is very interesting to me, because I've seen instances where they'll take down pictures of naked body, for, to be crass for a moment, nipples, right, on breasts. They'll remove that content in the blink of an eye. Yet horrific, graphic, violent images will remain up for the world to see. I've stumbled across things just randomly. I'll be searching through the search Instagram feed, the feed where they suggest posts to you, and they're all mostly obviously very benign. There's a lot of cooking, there's a lot of makeup tutorials, there's a lot of cute animal stuff, but then randomly there will just appear this thing. It's one of the ones that I saw, it was fucking absolutely horrific, and I could not believe it was there. And without going into too many details, it was an animal cruelty thing, and honestly, that shit just doesn't fucking go down well with me in any way. I become a little bit hysterical and I start feeling panicky. So obviously I reported that. I'm hoping it got taken down. Anyway, so yeah, that happens. The other thing is, like, Instagram with their fucking shithouse policing of this stuff is when, I don't know whether you've done this, many people do, I know, I've heard of it, you Google yourself, but if you've ever Instagram searched yourself, I would suggest trying, because when I've done that, I can't, I'm recording on my phone, so I've Instagram searched myself, and there's like an account with my profile picture, but it's not my account, and it's like UTC or something, or USTC, some form of letters, I don't know, and there's a few other accounts with the same. It's disturbing. That shit is fucking disturbing. Like, I didn't make the fucking account. It's my picture. They've taken my picture, they put it on this account. Not only have they taken my picture, but they're using my name, Amber Gully, on this account. So I've mentioned this to Twitter. I'm like, this account, this isn't me. Can you please get rid of it? It freaks me out. If I search it, it will probably still be there because I have reported this account like 5 times and always Instagram comes back with, we've looked into your dispute but we find your complaint to not be valid as whatever blah 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 doesn't violate our guidelines. And it's like, what the fuck does violate? My phone's about to stop recording. But yeah, honestly, what the fuck? What the fuck are your guidelines, Instagram? I don't know why it's giving me a anyway, whatever. I guess the bottom line is to be careful, to know who you're speaking to on the internet, to not trust people so readily. Don't trust people. Always question everything. Question why someone is speaking to you. Question what they want. Question why they're saying the things to you that they're saying. And trust your gut instincts, because that is the most important, valuable thing that you have. Your gut instincts. They're there and they will tell you when something is wrong, and they will tell you what to do, and you'll know. You will know. Don't ignore it. Never ignore it. If your gut tells you someone is bad, stay away from them. Don't go anywhere with them. Don't get into a car and... It's an interesting world that we live in, but it's also a very, very disturbing one. And the internet just illustrates every single fucking day how disturbing the world is and how disturbing people can be. This is going to cut out again soon. So I did have things I wanted to say, but in usual Amber fashion, and nothing ever comes out the way it's meant to. I should probably... I've said it before, but I'm not going to say it again. Yeah. Don't just trust people. That's all I can say. Because unfortunately, some people out there are just very, very bad. And I'm not going to use this person's name in the title. I'm not going to say this person. I'm not going to mention anything about it. I just wanted to have a rant because honestly, reading about it and watching it is just really starting to piss me off. The reactions of people, hearing more about the person who did it, is just, it's like, fuck. The internet has created this fucking space for just people who seem to think that life is one big show. Like, it's not real to anyone anymore. People do things because they want other people to see them doing it, not because they want to do it. Do you know what I mean? Fuck, I'm guilty of this. Posting pictures of my fucking self because I want people to say it. Like, does it really make me fucking happy? I don't know. I don't fucking know. But when it gets to the point where you will fucking kill someone, oh man, this is like a fucking circus. The internet is a circus full of fucking clowns. Anyway, it is interesting nonetheless, and fuck, I hate that it's happened. I really fucking hate that it's happened. And you know, the images, while they are getting taken down by all the right people, they're still being left up by some people, and you can still fucking see them. And the other day, like, as I mentioned, I think in my other video, it really upset me. Like, it was shockingly upsetting, because it's so sudden. When you see something like that, you just don't fucking expect it, you know? It's the last thing you expect to see. Because as I mentioned before, like, unless you want to see that sort of thing, which is, why would you? You would probably be looking on the dark web or wherever those fucking weird, sick freaks go to look at stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know. like I was saying to my husband today, I could not be one of those like forensics investigators or some sort of, you know, law enforcement something or other, working in some kind of law, I don't know what they call them, you know, like forensics and shit. Because I honestly, when it's real, it's too much to handle. Yeah, too much to handle. I've also noticed something else, that the majority, for some reason, the majority of comments that I've seen, especially the negative ones, why don't people take the time to review the comments that they leave on things instead of just fucking posting them? Because it's almost like people can't talk properly. I know, I can't fucking talk, right? Because it's almost like I can't talk properly, can't get my thoughts out properly. But for some fucking reason, people don't give a shit about how they sound. They just want to say mean things in the stupidest way possible. Okay, now I'm going on, and I should probably stop because this is just getting silly. Trust your gut instincts, everybody. And if you're a girl, make good decisions. And just remember that you've only got one life. Be a bit more wise. Always trust your instincts.